Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Now, this is episode 1. I found dyslexia ground zero, and it's not what you think. If you think your child is dyslexic and you're feeling alone, lost, overwhelmed, or scared for their future, I can help. What parents can do right now is fast, cheap, and simple. I have discovered the greatest dyslexia breakthrough in 60 years. This provides the power to create change in the life of your child. It's not too late. This is what parents need to do right now. It's not about reading, writing, and spelling. For 99% of their time in school, everyone will focus on the thing dyslexic kids find difficult. The information I'm providing you will not find anywhere else. And that is because most advice will be wrong. Even AI, that is our ChatGPT, only has the same incorrect strategies of the past 60 years. So you can't get this information. It's not rocket science. I just thought like a dyslexic. I wanted to find out why a dyslexic child is traumatized in school in 2025 the same way they were 100 years ago. So in 2026, there's an estimated 140 to 280 million dyslexic children around the world who will be subject to lifelong trauma by attending school. Incredibly, it's completely preventable. What's changed? The responsibility for your child's education, happiness, and well-being has shifted from society to the individual. In other words, it's up to you, the parent. There's no use complaining to governments and schools, signing petitions, because nothing will change unless you follow this good advice and stop assuming that the people with the power will actually help you. You're listening to D3, the Dyslexia Breakthrough Podcast with the Serial Teacher. I was teaching for nearly 30 years, and I've discovered what we do to help dyslexic kids actually causes the trauma. Yes, we are making things worse. Do this before you spend thousands of dollars on testing and tutoring, because the testing and tutoring may actually make your child's life miserable. I'm going to show you how to prevent the anxiety, the frustration, the anger, and self-loathing most dyslexics experience. This trauma is felt by the entire family of the dyslexic student. What I've discovered is there is a fundamental misunderstanding about dyslexia. I must admit, I was teaching, but I didn't understand it. I believe most teachers still don't get it. I think a lot of parents don't understand it. Everyone talks about reading, writing, and spelling, but nobody talks about how it makes dyslexic thinkers feel. I discovered the trauma of dyslexia is a preventable issue. The solution is fast, cheap, and easy, but you won't find this information anywhere else. After teaching for decades, I'm going to share everything with you. What schools won't tell you, and how we are making the same mistakes that are hurting our kids. I was teaching dyslexic students for 30 years. I thought I understood, but I was doing it wrong. 100% of dyslexic adults were traumatized at school because we keep doing things the same way. So traditional schooling is guaranteed to make your child unhappy, because dyslexic kids are actually set up to fail. This is not done intentionally or maliciously, but it happens. I recently saw a powerful BBC interview with Jamie Oliver, and like all dyslexics, he is deeply scarred by school trauma. The words he used are confronting: jail, suicide, anger, frustration, poor behaviour, self-loathing, hatred, bullying, feeling stupid. Incredibly, in 2026, we are going to send our dyslexic kids off to school to be traumatized the same way. To me, it's like sending soldiers in World War I out of the trenches to a certain death. Almost every piece of information available to parents has a focus on reading, writing, and spelling. Get your child tested, get them diagnosed, see medical experts, get personalized tuition, get an individual education plan, and spend thousands of dollars. Nobody talks about how we make dyslexic thinkers feel. Nobody asks dyslexic thinkers what they need or want. This is the secret to where dyslexia trauma really begins. Nobody actually includes dyslexic adults and kids in their discussions. I will say it again. The trauma of dyslexia is a preventable issue. Dyslexia does not actually traumatize dyslexic thinkers. The trauma comes from the reaction of parents, teachers, schools, and recommended advice from medical experts. What we do to help actually causes the trauma. 100% of dyslexic thinkers feel shame and guilt, and I discovered where that actually comes from. Now, shame is a feeling of embarrassment or humiliation. It's a profound internal feeling of being fundamentally flawed and unworthy. So most kids try to hide their dyslexia because they feel they can't do anything right. Internal negative self-belief comes from a place of learned helplessness. 7 seems to be an unlucky number for dyslexic thinkers. Ground zero is where the first wave of trauma starts at about age 7, and the second wave starts at about year 7 in Australia. That is the move to high school. This is where it all starts. Dyslexic kids are often the brightest, most creative, fun-loving kids until about age 7. But then the introduction of text and testing takes place. The teacher alerts the parent to their child receiving lower scores and indicates it could be laziness or a learning disorder. Apart from telling kids to try harder, teachers have only one easy suggestion. They suggest diagnosis or testing, not fully comprehending the enormous wait times, financial and emotional pressures that this ignites. Naturally, the parent is concerned. They seek answers and advice. They're concerned for the future of their child and probably willing to pay whatever it takes. The multi-billion-dollar dyslexia, ADHD, neurodivergent medical and tutoring industries welcomes another customer with open arms. The child will see and hear and feel the concern of the parent, and they feel responsible for bringing something bad into their family. Dyslexic thinkers are incredibly empathetic. They see and hear and feel what is taking place. They believe it's their fault. The parent will probably act the same way as receiving news of a terrible disease their child has contracted. They may act sympathetic, concerned, even condescending. Dyslexic thinkers actually want understanding, not sympathy. Parents may be very sad as they negotiate the final cost and wait times. They share the bad news with friends. They'll seek advice online from other people. That's where the world comes crashing down for a dyslexic thinker. They want to blend in and feel like everyone else, but we make them feel different. Actress Keira Knightley said, "School made me feel less than everyone else." I'm the serial teacher. In the next episode, we'll talk about how your dyslexic child is the real expert and how you can discover what they are great at instead of focusing on the only thing they struggle with. Thank you for listening.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.